Manipulation today. Shout out to Machiavellian Aura. When the manipulator turns everyone against you, use this counter move.
Someone is talking about you right now. Not to your face. Never to your face. They're leaning in close to someone you trust, lowering their voice, planting a seed of doubt so small you won't even notice the roots until everything around you has changed. Your friends look at you differently. Your colleagues hesitate. The room shifts when you walk in, and no one tells you why. You feel it in your gut. Something wrong, but you can't prove it. That's not an accident. Engineering. Someone has decided that you are a threat, and instead of confronting you like a man, they chose to dismantle you in the shadows. Machiavelli warned us about this centuries ago, but he also left us the countermove, and by the end of this, you will know exactly how to use it. Stay here. This changes everything. Recognize the snake before it strikes. The most dangerous person in any room is never the loudest. Remember that. The manipulator doesn't announce themselves with aggression or hostility. They arrive with a smile. They arrive with warmth. They ask about your life. They remember small details. They make you feel seen in a way that feels almost too good. And that is your first warning. Machiavelli understood something most people never will. The greatest threats always wear the mask of friendship first. A manipulator studies you before they move against you. They learn your insecurities through casual conversation. They map your social circle by watching who you trust, who you lean on, who you confide in. They are not gathering this information because they care. They are building a blueprint of your destruction. You need to understand the profile. The manipulator is often charming, well-liked, and socially fluid. They move between groups effortlessly. People feel comfortable around them because they mirror emotions with surgical precision. When you are happy, they celebrate with you. When you are vulnerable, they hold space for you. But none of it is real. It is data collection disguised as connection. They use selective vulnerability, sharing just enough of their own pain to make you lower your guard and offer yours in return. And that is the moment the trap locks shut. Everything you gave them in trust becomes ammunition stored for later. Machiavelli wrote that a man who trusts blindly will always be ruined among so many who are not good. This is not cynicism. This is pattern recognition. The countermove begins here, in this moment of awareness. You do not need to become paranoid. You need to become observant. Watch who asks too many questions but reveals nothing real. Watch who is loved by everyone but loyal to no one. That is your snake. And now, you see it before it strikes.
Were you used by a member of the Catholic Church in Illinois when you were young? A global settlement may be coming in 2025. An Illinois Attorney General investigation.
We just talking about manipulators and
you see
how to.
it before it strikes.
Give me 1 second.
Why they chose you.
We talking about manipulators and how to avoid them. So if you want to learn about not being, manipulated, you might want to sit down.
Watch who is loved by everyone, but loyal to no one. That is your snake. And now, you see it before it strikes. Why they chose you as the target. Let me tell you something that will reshape the way you see everything that has happened to you.
Let's go.
You were not targeted because you are weak. You were targeted because you are dangerous. Not dangerous in the way the world fears. Not reckless, not violent, not unstable. Dangerous in the way that manipulators fear. You have something they don't. Maybe it's authenticity. Maybe it's talent. Maybe people gravitate toward you without you even trying. And that alone was enough to make you a threat. Understand this deeply. A manipulator never wastes energy on someone beneath them. They don't scheme against people who pose no risk to their position. If someone has launched a campaign to destroy your reputation, it is because your reputation was becoming more powerful than theirs. Machiavelli observed that envy is the silent engine behind most political destruction, not hatred, envy. The manipulator looked at you and saw a future where you surpassed them, and rather than rise to meet you, they chose to pull you down from the shadows where no one could see their hands. This is critical for your psychology right now. You must stop asking what you did wrong. You did nothing wrong. Your growth was the offense. Your light exposed their mediocrity without you even knowing it, and that made you intolerable to someone who survives by controlling how others are perceived. The moment you internalize this truth, the shame disappears. The confusion lifts. You stop shrinking yourself trying to figure out where you failed, and you start standing taller, knowing that your existence alone forced someone into a strategy against you. That is not weakness. That is proof of power you haven't even fully realized yet. Victims don't get targeted by calculated minds. Threats do. And you, whether you know it or not, are a threat. Own that. The isolation play.
Okay.
How they turn the room. Now you need to understand exactly how they did it. Because it was not random. It was not chaotic. It was architecture. The manipulator does not turn people against you by telling obvious lies. That would be too clumsy, too easy to expose. Instead, they use something far more insidious. Selective truth. They take a real moment, a real mistake, a real emotion you once showed, and they reframe it. They add tone. They add context that never existed. They whisper to one person, "I'm just worried about them."
That's the
Too
one.
clumsy.
That's the one.
Because it was not random. It was not chaotic. It was architecture. The manipulator does not turn people against you by telling obvious lies. That would be too clumsy, too easy to expose.
Yeah.
Instead, they use something far more insidious. Selective truth. They take a real moment, a real mistake, a real emotion you once showed, and they reframe it. They add tone. They add context that never existed. They whisper to one person, "I'm just worried about them," and to another, "I didn't want to say anything, but have you noticed how they've been acting?" They never accuse you directly. They let others build the accusation for them. This is triangulation, and it is the manipulator's most devastating weapon. They position themselves at the center of every conversation about you, while appearing to be the most neutral, the most concerned, the most reluctant to speak. People don't realize they are being guided. They believe they are forming their own opinions, but every opinion was planted, watered, and harvested by one pair of hands. Machiavelli wrote that the wise man does nothing by chance, and neither does the skilled manipulator. They isolate you in stages. First, they remove your closest ally by creating a private doubt. Then, they work outward, weakening each one conversation at a time. By the time you feel the distance, the walls are already built. You walk into a room and feel the temperature change. People are polite but no longer warm. They include you but no longer trust you. And the manipulator stands in the corner with clean hands, watching their work unfold. This is the isolation play. It is quiet, it is methodical, and most people never see it happening until they are already standing alone. But you are not most people, not anymore.
Yep.
Planning to publish your book, you could
Man,
reach
he going
3
crazy,
million
y'all.
more readers. If you've written a
Y'all know me. I'm gonna get into it when we
The
done
first
talking.
countermove. Silence is a weapon. Oh, here is where most people destroy themselves.
Yeah.
They find out what's happening and they react. They confront, they explain, they defend, they send long messages. They pull people aside and say, "Let me tell you my side." And every single one of those moves is exactly what the manipulator is waiting for. The moment you react emotionally, you confirm the narrative they already built. If they told people you are unstable, your anger proves it. If they told people you are dramatic, your long explanation proves it. If they told people you are difficult, your confrontation proves it. You walked straight into the trap and sealed it shut behind you. Machiavelli understood that in moments of conflict, the man who moves first often loses. Not because action is wrong, but because premature action is always wrong. The first counter move is not a strike. It is silence. Cold, deliberate, unshakable silence.
I'm telling you, boy.
You say nothing. You explain nothing.
Somebody was just in my chat, and it's like, I'm not gonna cold silence, you hear me? That's it.
The first counter move is not a strike. It is silence. Cold, deliberate, unshakable silence. You say nothing. You explain nothing. You defend nothing. Not because you are afraid, but because you understand something the manipulator never expected you to learn. Silence is a vacuum, and vacuums make people uncomfortable. When you don't react, the manipulator loses control of the timeline. They planned for your outburst. They rehearsed how they would respond to your defense. They positioned themselves to look calm while you looked chaotic. But you gave them nothing, and now they are standing in a room holding a script with no one to perform against.
Exactly.
Stoicism teaches that you cannot control what others say about you, but you have absolute dominion over how you respond. Your
Every
silence
time.
is not surrender. It is the first blade drawn in a fight no one even realizes has begun. Let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them wonder why you haven't flinched. That wonder is the beginning of their doubt. And doubt is where empires start to crack. The second countermove, become unreadable. Silence protects you, but what makes you truly dangerous is becoming a person no one can read. The manipulator's entire strategy depends on prediction. They study your patterns. They know what makes you angry. They know what makes you sad. They know which buttons to press and exactly when to press them. Your emotions have been their remote control, and up until now, you didn't even realize someone else was holding it. That ends today. Machiavelli wrote that the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. Therefore, one must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Becoming unreadable is how you become the fox. You control your face, not with a fake smile, not with forced happiness, but with calm neutrality. When the manipulator tests you with a comment designed to provoke, your expression gives nothing. When someone reports back what was said about you, your body doesn't tense, your voice doesn't shift, your eyes stay steady. You become a wall that returns no echo. This is not suppression, this is mastery. There is a vast difference between a man who is hiding his emotions and a man who has command over them. The manipulator is trained to read micro-reactions. The slight jaw clench, the change in breathing, the moment your eyes drop. They feed on these signals. The predator reads the movement of prey. When you eliminate those signals, you eliminate their advantage entirely. They will test you harder, they will escalate, they will say worse things, create bigger provocations, because your stillness terrifies them. A manipulator who cannot read you cannot strategize against you. And a manipulator without a strategy is just a person standing in a room full of lies they can no longer control. Let them search your face for weakness. Let them find nothing, absolutely nothing. The third countermove, strategic visibility. Most people who are under attack disappear. They withdraw. They shrink. They stop showing up because every room feels hostile. Every glance feels loaded. And the weight of false perception pushes them into hiding. And that is the manipulator's greatest victory. Not what they said about you, but the fact that they made you remove yourself from the game entirely. You will not make that mistake. The third countermove is strategic visibility, and it is devastatingly effective. You do not defend yourself with words. You defend yourself with presence. You show up, not louder, not desperate for attention. You show up with calm, grounded, undeniable energy. You produce results. You deliver work that speaks so loudly, it drowns out every whisper behind your back. You engage with people normally, warmly, without a trace of bitterness on your face. Machiavelli understood that perception is the battlefield where all real wars are fought. The manipulator painted a portrait of you, unstable, untrustworthy, problematic. Your job is not to argue against that portrait. Your job is to make it laughable by simply being visible in your truth. When people see you operating with grace under pressure, their own eyes begin to contradict the story they were told. Doubt creeps in. Not doubt about you. Doubt about the person who told them to doubt you. This is the turning point. Every room you walk into with your head high is a silent rebuttal. Every task you complete with excellence is evidence that cannot be argued with. Every calm interaction you have is a crack in the manipulator's narrative. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. Reality is your advocate now. Let them watch you. Let them measure the distance between what they were told and what they see with their own eyes. That distance is where the manipulator's power begins to die. The fourth counter-move. Divide their alliance. The manipulator did not turn everyone against you with one conversation. They built a coalition. One person at a time. One whisper at a time. One distorted story at a time. They assembled an army of people who now view you through a lens that was carefully crafted and handed to them. But here is what the manipulator does not want you to know. Coalitions built on lies are inherently fragile. They hold together only as long as no one questions the architect. Your fourth counter-move is to divide that alliance, not through gossip, not through counter-manipulation, not through playing their game at their level. You do it through something the manipulator is incapable of, genuine human connection. You approach individuals privately, not to defend yourself, not to expose the manipulator. You simply reconnect as a human being. You ask about their life. You show interest without agenda. You let them experience you directly, without the filter of someone else's narrative standing between you. Machiavelli wrote that men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who seeks to deceive will always find someone willing to be deceived. The people who turned against you were not evil. They were manipulated, and manipulated people, when given the chance to see clearly, often feel the deepest shame for what they believed. You do not need to turn anyone against the manipulator. You only need to give people a reason to think for themselves again. One honest conversation at a time, the coalition weakens. One authentic moment at a time, the web unravels. The manipulator built their power on the assumption that you would never quietly reach the people they poisoned. They assumed you would rage publicly while they operated privately. You will do the opposite. Move in silence. Reconnect with patience. And watch the walls they built around you begin to crumble from the inside.
Hey, what's in the box?
It's strong, man. I hope y'all picking up.
Well, actually, I am.
I hope y'all picking up, man.
From the inside. The fifth countermove. Expose without accusing.
Okay.
There will come a moment when the ground is ready. You have been silent. You have become unreadable. You have shown up with undeniable presence. You have quietly reconnected with the people who were turned against you.
Okay.
Now comes the most surgical move in the entire strategy. You let the manipulator expose themselves without ever pointing a single finger. This is the art of the question. You do not accuse. Accusation makes you look bitter and gives the manipulator another chance to play the victim. Instead, you ask questions in the right rooms at the right times. Simple questions, innocent questions, questions that force the manipulator's story to stand on its own legs in front of people who are already beginning to doubt. You ask someone, that's it good. When did they tell you that? You ask another, I'm curious, what exactly were the words they used? You create conditions where people begin comparing notes. And when people compare notes about a manipulator, the contradictions surface on their own. Because the manipulator told different versions to different people. They tailored each lie to each audience. And those lies were never designed to be placed side by side. Machiavelli knew that the greatest strategist does not destroy his enemy directly. He creates the environment where the enemy destroys himself. That is exactly what you are doing. You are not attacking. You are arranging the stage and letting the manipulator perform their own unraveling. The beauty of this move is that you remain clean. You remain composed. You never raised your voice. You never slandered anyone. You simply asked questions that any reasonable person would ask. And the truth did what truth always does when it is given room. It surfaced. You did not expose them. They exposed themselves. And every single person in that room will remember who stayed calm and who started scrambling. The power of walking away from the wrong room. Now, I need to tell you something that most strategists will never admit. Sometimes the room is not worth saving. Sometimes the people who were turned against you reveal through their willingness to believe the worst about you that they were never truly yours to begin with. And that revelation, as painful as it is one of the most liberating truths you will ever receive.
That's facts. That's
Machiavelli wrote extensively about the danger of fighting wars on terrain that offers no advantage. Some environments are so thoroughly poisoned that no countermove, no matter how brilliant, will restore what was lost. And the man who keeps fighting for a seat at a table that was designed to exclude him is not strong. He is enslaved by his need for approval. Walking away is not retreat. Walking away is the ultimate declaration of self-worth. It says that your energy, your peace, your future are more valuable than the validation of people who chose a lie over your character without ever asking you for the truth. Most men are afraid of this move because they associate departure with defeat. But the opposite is true. The man who can leave a room that no longer serves him holds a power that the manipulator will never understand. The power of detachment. The manipulator needs the room. They need the audience. They need the social ecosystem to survive because without it, they are nothing. You are not nothing without that room. You are everything without it. You carry your value with you. You carry your skills, your mind, your resilience wherever you go. New rooms will open. Better rooms. Rooms where your presence is not tolerated, but celebrated. Rooms where your name is spoken with respect in your absence. Do not cling to a space that someone else has corrupted. Leave it with your dignity untouched and let them wonder where your power came from when you rebuild somewhere they cannot reach. You were never the victim. You were the lesson. Let me leave you with the truth that ties everything together. Everything you have been through. The whispers, the isolation, the betrayal, the confusion, the sleepless nights, wondering what you did to deserve it. None of it was wasted. Every single moment was forging something inside you that the manipulator will never possess. You were never the victim in this story. You were the raw material being shaped into something unbreakable. Machiavelli did not write for the comfortable. He wrote for men who had been thrown into the fire of human cruelty and needed to understand the game before the game consumed them. That is what happened to you. The manipulator thought they were destroying you, but what they actually did was hand you an education that no book, no lecture, no comfortable life could ever provide. They taught you how to read people. They taught you the price of blind trust. They taught you that silence carries more power than any argument. They taught you that your face is a weapon when it reveals nothing. They taught you that your presence alone can dismantle a lie. They taught you that walking away from the wrong room is not loss, it is evolution. You did not just survive this, you grew from it. And the version of you standing here right now, calm, aware, strategic, unshakable, is someone the manipulator never planned for. They planned for your collapse. They planned for your desperation. They planned for a broken person, begging for acceptance from a room that was rigged against them. Instead, they created a man who sees every move before it is made. A man who controls his emotions instead of being controlled by them. A man who no longer fears the darkness in others because he has learned to navigate it with precision. You are not who you were before this happened. You are sharper. You are quieter. You are more dangerous in the most dignified way a man can be. The manipulator lost the moment you stopped reacting and started thinking. And they will lose again with every person they try this on. Because people like you now exist in the world to recognize them. If this reached something deep inside you, drop one phrase in the comments. I see the board now. Let that be your declaration. Let that be the line between who you were and who you have become. And if this is the first video of ours that found you, subscribe now. Hit the like button. Turn on notifications. Because this is not just a channel. This is where the unshakable are built.
Man, Man, that was powerful, man. That was very powerful, man, and I couldn't agree any more than what he was just saying in the video. I won't be able to be manipulated anymore. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't care about rumors. I don't care about none of that stuff. So I'm wishing you the best, manipulators out there in the world. Y'all have fun talking about me and other people. Whatever y'all doing out there, just have fun, man. Enjoy yourself. Turn up. Have a celebration, you know. Just do your thing, you know what I mean? Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. You feel me? And understand that you will never be able to stop nobody out here on this planet but yourself. So stop searching for approval. Stop searching for validation. Stop trying to prove yourself to people. Just stop. All right? A lot of y'all need a ruthless transformation, man, because y'all too soft out here. And y'all get manipulated like that. See, me, I ain't that type. You feel me? Like, you might feel like you could say and do anything to me, but you really can't. Because I'm going to question everything about everybody, every second that you got to exist in my mind. I'm going to question everything about you. Everything that you do. Because we all have motives behind what we do. We all have reasons to what we do. And you ain't finna come in my life and think you just finna sit there and, you know what I'm saying, and just do anything, say anything, and be any type of way. Nah, because that ain't how I get out. You feel me? So at the end of the day, man, you know, don't be fooled out there, bro. Don't be fooled out there by these 2026 manipulators that's out here, bro. Ready to turn you against somebody from a rumor or something, you feel me? Stay sharp out there, y'all. Straight up. Don't let nobody stop you and nothing stop you. I ain't got no viewers in here. I'm still going. And I'm still finna keep going and get my message out there, you feel me? That's because, man, you gotta be about what you about, bro. You gotta be about what you about, bro. You can't be out here trying to, man, I ain't finna do this because I need somebody in it. Nah, bro, just do it. Do it for you. I mean, I'm telling y'all right now as we speak, if y'all see this on playback, it ain't nobody in here. And I'm pushing my message, bro. I'm a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm practicing what I preach, bro. You know how many people talking about me? Exactly, because I don't know either. And I don't really care. I'm out of here, bro. I'm finna get out of here, man. Y'all stay cool. I hope this message help y'all. I hope this message help the people that watch me and follow me too. Understand that. I promise you, I'm not finna do nothing to prove y'all wrong or none of that. I don't care about none of y'all. Y'all could take all my videos and screen record them, mash them together, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm still finna do what I do because I know I ain't wrong. But a lot of people, they be knowing they wrong, y'all, and they still gonna keep acting like they don't know. So y'all be careful out there with who you be around, who you associate with, and everything, bro. Who you related to, all that, bro. It's real. Y'all stay blessed, man, and y'all really need to just come out y'all horrible ways, bro. Come out your ways, keep your head up, and keep fighting, bro. Because we can't stop people from manipulating nobody. We cannot stop them, bro. We can't. We can't stop them from wanting to turn against us, wanting to do. I know it's somebody right now that's probably ready to turn against me because I ain't responding to them. Because I ain't responding to them because they feel like however they feel and they don't want to come to a mutual understanding to where everything cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, whatever. I don't argue. I don't fight. I don't have no ill intentions against nobody. Not even the manipulators. I don't even have intentions against nobody who got that for me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So you ain't gotta be afraid of me thinking I'm gonna do something or retaliate on you because I don't care about you. Straight up. I don't. And I feel like the problem with a lot of y'all out here in this world is y'all don't care about y'allself. And y'all want other people to care about y'all. No, just care about yourself and carry on. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. My wife live right now. Anyway, man, y'all be smooth. I put a 1 in the chat if you, man. I see I got somebody in here. Let me see if y'all gonna say something or if y'all just gonna sit right there and y'all left. Hey, I said what I had to say. And I'm done saying it, man. Today was about manipulation, man. Manipulation ain't just somebody getting something from you that they want. Manipulation is in a lot of different forms. Manipulation can literally come from someone giving something to you. People will manipulate you through giving you things. Be careful. People will manipulate you through loving you. People will manipulate you through having a bond connection with you. And it can be as simple as 2 friends, all the way to siblings and everywhere. All right? A lot of us, we get separated, you know what I'm saying? Because people wasn't supposed to really be in our life anyway, you know, unfortunately. And it's okay, though. It's okay. I hope y'all stop getting manipulated with this video. I hope y'all notice the signs from these manipulators. I hope y'all understand that, bro, life is way too short for you to be sitting out here playing around, being weird, looking at you know what I'm saying? Looking at somebody making up a lie and all that. Just get your life together. Get your soul together, man. You feel me? Now, anytime you get upset and you feel like you want to have a bad day,